This just coming in. Alec Manassian, who killed 10 people and wounded 16 others in the 2018 Toronto van attack, has been found guilty. Alec Manassian admitted to carrying out the attack, but pleaded not guilty, citing his mental state at the time. His lawyers have argued he should not be found criminally responsible due to his autism spectrum disorder. The judge said Manassian knew it was morally wrong and convicted Manassian of 10 counts of first-degree murder and 16 counts of attempted murder. Mustafa, I want to go back to you. There we have the verdict coming in. The attacker has been found guilty. You were just telling us how you think this may change the legal landscape, and we were about to discuss why the NCR was central to this case. Your thoughts, your reaction to this verdict?
I think it was expected. I think most defense counsel would sort of explain that, you know, we were sort of expecting a guilty finding. Just based on the evidence that was sort of coming out in the trial. And I think for most sort of defense lawyers, I think the biggest hurdle that was going to sort of come across for the defense was going to be sort of the premeditation. The fact that there was a lot of planning going on, the fact that this wasn't just such a random situation that arose. I think when you look at all those factors, along with a lot of these medical professionals that testified, I felt that the general consensus amongst my colleagues as well was that, you know, that this wasn't going to be an NCR situation.
And in fact, to that point, the judge did say, while rendering her verdict, something to that very point. She said that Manassian booked the van 3 weeks in advance. He picked one big enough to do damage, but small enough to maneuver. And she also said that incel, that movement was motivation. I do want to ask you, as I'm starting to read dribs and drabs of what the judge said in delivering that verdict, she would not name Manassian. She wanted to refer to him as John Doe. Why do you think she made that decision?
I think that's brilliant. And I think kudos to her honor, because I think that's exactly what needs to be done. At the end of the day, a lot of these individuals, not only are they suffering from, you know, different sort of illnesses, and just because you're suffering from a mental health situation doesn't necessarily equate to you being not criminally responsible. So it's important to make that distinction. But so sorry.
No, I was going to ask if you think that part of the reason for that was because we know that Manassian was fixated on school shootings and mass murderers. Did he want his name to go down in infamy?
Absolutely. And I think that's what a lot of these individuals are sort of chasing. They're chasing their own personal goals, but more importantly, they're trying to grow this ideology where it's okay to hurt individuals for a certain cause. And that's something that it should never be accepted. And I think her honor was very smart and strategic by sort of explaining that we need to eliminate having these people named so that they understand that if these type of actions occur, nobody's going to know who they are and they're going to be locked up for a very long time.
Okay, and I just want to recap for our viewers, Mustafa, who may be just joining us. Alec Manassian is criminally responsible. The judge has rendered her verdict. He has been found guilty on all 26 counts. The judge failed to establish that Manassian was incapable of knowing his actions. What happens now to Alec Manassian?
He goes to jail. Sentencing is going to naturally arise, right? Because obviously now it's going to be adjourned for sentencing, and based on all the counts that he's facing, I expect a very, very lengthy jail sentence, and I wouldn't be surprised if he spends the rest of his life behind bars.